Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Angel Zavala. Zavala died on Tuesday, May 9th, 2017, after being shot in the 16,000 block of South White Avenue in Compton, according to LA County coroner records. Henry Alas, Giovanni Ibanez, Pedro Guzman, and Daniel Moran were subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. Defendants Henry Alas, Giovanni Stoner Ibanez, Pedro Stretch Guzman, and Faustino Sino Bermudez are members of Down for Whatever, or DFW. DFW is a small up-and-coming gang that operates in Compton within the territory of the Compton Barrio Setentas, a much larger and more established street gang with ties to the Mexican Mafia. One of DFW's rivals is the White Street Hustlers, whose territory is near DFW's. On May 3rd, 2017, defendants Alas, Guzman, and Bermudez encountered two men on the street, including victim Angel Zavala, a member of the White Street Hustlers. The man who was with the victim ran from the attack, but the victim stood his ground and stabbed Alas, Guzman, and Bermudez. Alas and Guzman suffered non-life-threatening stab wounds, while Bermudez was seriously injured and required hospitalization. That same day, defendants Alas and Ibanez messaged each other on Facebook. Ibanez said he heard Alas got stabbed. Alas explained that he and Guzman had been stabbed by a weird-ass fool and Bermudez was doing bad in surgery. Alas then wrote to Ibanez, "Pull up, I'm trying to go to White Street or see Bermudez." Ibanez responded, "We'll go when I get out." On May 6, 2017, at about 9:43 a.m., defendant Alas sent a message to defendant Ibanez asking him where he was located. Ibanez responded he was on Pan Street with defendants Moran and Guzman. Alas said, "That's fishy, I'ma pull up." Ibanez responded, "Come out." Approximately 40 minutes later, a witness heard 3 to 4 gunshots near the corner of White Avenue and Rose Street and saw a silver Nissan Maxima speeding away. At 10:45 a.m., deputies for the LA County Sheriff's Department responded to a report of shots fired on White Avenue. The deputies found the victim on the sidewalk suffering from 3 gunshot wounds, including a fatal gunshot wound to his neck. They also found 4 .40 caliber shell casings approximately 100 feet from the victim's body, and a fired bullet and strike marks on the nearby fence. Several days later, LA Sheriff's detectives obtained surveillance recordings from a nearby business that showed a silver Nissan Maxima leaving the scene of the shooting. On June 8th, 2017, defendants Alas, Moran, Guzman, Ibanez, and Bermudez were arrested in connection with the shooting of the victim. At defendant Ibanez's home, investigators found a car matching the description of the car seen driving away from the shooting scene. Ibanez's mother told investigators the car keys belonged to defendant Ibanez. After the arrest, defendants Ibanez and Moran were brought to an LA Sheriff's Station in South Los Angeles. Investigators placed defendant Ibanez in a holding cell with a confidential informant. The conversation was recorded. The informant initiated the conversation with defendant Ibanez, identifying himself as a gang member and asking Ibanez about the circumstances of his arrest. Ibanez explained he and several other people had been arrested by different law enforcement agencies. The informant asked him, "Did you guys do something big or what?" Ibanez responded, "Nah, well, they were just talking about a shooting, but I mean, I don't even know what the fuck is going on." Ibanez proceeded to explain how he was from a tagging crew in Compton known as DFW. Ibanez and the informant discussed the possibility of someone cooperating with law enforcement since everyone was arrested at the same time. Ibanez was worried his friends would suspect he was the cooperator because he had been separated from the others and taken to a different station. When asked why the victim was shot, Ibanez said the victim was an enemy from another crew. The informant explained to Ibanez he was asking about the motive because Ibanez could be charged with gang allegations. Ibanez stated, "That fool, we got him because he's the one that stabbed the homies. He stabbed 3 of the homies." The informant told Ibanez that was good for him because he could argue self-defense. The informant asked what time the shooting occurred. Ibanez said it happened around 10 a.m. The informant asked Ibanez if they were searching for the victim before the shooting. The following exchange then took place. "So this is basically what happened, fool. The homies ran up on them fools like on some normal shit, like we always run up. You know how we beef, you know? But I guess the homies ran up on 2 fools, but 1 fool runs and only 1 fool stays, and the homies jump him. And it ended up being the fool they jumped had a knife, so. And we were mad because of that shit, and that's why we were looking, and we were trying to retaliate, and fucking we were just on them fools. Like, the homie lives on that block, on their main block, So we were gonna go pick up the homie, and as we're going down the little street like this, and this is the street where it happened. And the homie's like, hey, I think that's one of them. It's only 1 fool. But the homie said he didn't know who it was. It was just, he just seen a person, He's like, I think it's one of them. It ended up being the same fool they got the homies. And the homie got off and pop, pop, pop. Damn, that's right, fuck him. Did that fool try to run? Nah, he tried to run but got. Ibanez explained defendant Moran got out of the car and he shot the victim. Ibanez said he cleaned the car after the shooting and someone else cleaned the bullets in the gun before they were fired. He also said that after the shooting, they drove to someone's house where defendant Moran showered and cleaned his hands. Defendants Alas, Moran, Ibanez, and Guzman were charged with 1 count of murder, including gun and gang allegations. After defendant Alas' trial was severed from his co-defendants, a jury convicted him of first-degree murder and found true the gun and gang enhancements. The court sentenced him to a term of 25 years to life. Defendant Moran was sentenced to 15 years after he pled no contest to voluntary manslaughter and admitted the firearm enhancement. Defendant Ibanez was sentenced to 15 years after a jury convicted him of second-degree murder. Defendant Guzman was placed on formal probation after pleading no contest to being an accessory. Angel Zavala was 19 years old at the time of death.